angels, welcome back. So this is Book-Tube-A-Thon Day 5 challenge where you have to create your own class and basically come up with a reading list for that class. So welcome to Mental Health 101. I've chosen to do a mental health class because I feel like I can relate to this and I can help a lot of people with these books and with the knowledge I have on mental health. So let's get into it. The first module we're going to be doing is on OCD and how individuals can cope with their OCD, how they recover, and how you treat someone who has OCD. So for this module we're going to be reading Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne, which centres around a girl called Evie and her feminist group. However, we are not going to be focusing on the feminism aspects of this book. We're going to be focusing on the whole mental health recovery and the OCD in general. So this book gives a very strong, powerful and real insight into what it's like to suffer with OCD, how you can deal with your friend if they have OCD. And yeah, if you're triggered by the concept of a relapse, then I will find something else for you to read about OCD that doesn't talk about relapsing, because I know that relapse is a big trigger for a lot of people, but this book does deal with the main character relapsing and having a manic episode with their mental illness. So this book is very real and it is structured in a very creative and interesting way that I'm sure that you will all enjoy reading. So yes, that is going to be your module on OCD. The second module in my class is going to be on literature that glamorise the concept of mental health. I feel like it was very important to also include books that are very bad representations of what it's like to be mentally ill or mental illnesses in general. It was very important to use this because we're going to need to write essays and compare how a good representation of mental health is against a bad representation. So the first book I have for this is All the Bright Places. So All the Bright Places focuses on a pair of people, Violet and Fedor. They meet on a rooftop when Violet is going to commit suicide. She's just lost her sister, so there's the elements of losing a family member there, which is important, but what I'm getting at is the bad representation of mental health in this book. So this book really glamorizes it in a different way to the next book that I'm going to talk about, 13 Reasons Why, and it basically lets this girl, you know, go around all glorified and everyone thinking that she isn't the one that tried to jump, she isn't the one that tried to commit suicide, it was the boy. So I feel like that's a dangerous representation. It also talks about if you fall in love, your mental health is instantly cured, which I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with. So yes, that is going to be the first book we're going to read on our glamorized mental health module. The second book we're going to read is no surprise, as the Netflix show has come out and it's equally as disgusting as the book, 13 Reasons Why. If you like this book, then I'm going to need you to put your thoughts and feelings and personal opinions aside and just look at it from an opposing angle, because that's what we have to do when we write in literature. So yes, you all know what this book is about probably, but it is about a girl called Hannah Baker who commits suicide and leaves a series of tapes and lists the reasons why, and every tape has a name of a person and the reason why they're on the list. One of the guys on the list, called Clay, which was actually probably Hannah's closest friend, wasn't meant to be on the list. So there is a lot of, you know, bad things about the book and bad things about the show. If you watch the show then and don't read the book, I'm gonna be disappointed. No, I'm not. They're both disgusting. Yeah, so 13 Reasons Why actually has the character of Hannah alive at the end, and this whole thing is just an elaborate, you know, like revenge, suicide kind of thing. I really hate everything about 13 Reasons Why. So I think it's a good one to compare to the good side of mental health. Not good side of mental health, but like the good books that deal with mental health in a safe and effective way. 13 Reasons Why does not deal with suicide in a safe way. It glamorizes it. It also glamorizes rape culture, which is disgusting. And yes. The next book we're going to be reading is for having a mental illness, and it's like to deal with school and friendships, and that is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I read this book at a very significant time in my life and I adored it. I love 13... No I don't. I love The Perks of Being a Wallflower, not just because the lead guy is the same name as me, Charlie. I just love how this book is written, and I also feel like you'll have some powerful insight into what it's like to have mental health issues and how your friends preserve it, how it is to be on the outside, that kind of thing. I feel like you'll enjoy. The next module is on anxiety, and I've chosen to put forward the book of Fangirl. Sorry to the guys in this class, I don't know if you'll enjoy it just as much as the girls will, but this book is based on a girl called Kat who goes to university with her sister, and she has anxiety. She's a big fan fiction writer, like I'm sure a lot of us Tumblr people are. There's mentions of Tumblr, I think. She's made up these characters and she writes fan fiction about them, and it's a big hit, and it's totally amazing. Like, I love Fangirl. Fangirl deals with anxiety in a very relatable way. I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to Kat, so that's why I've based our anxiety module around Fangirl. Next module is going to be on schizophrenia. I haven't read this book, so I'm just going off of what I've heard people say about it. People say that it's quite good representation, and it's called Made You Up. So this story is essentially about a girl who can't tell the difference between real life and illusions. So it is going to give you a good insight on what it's like to be schizophrenic and how to deal with someone who has schizophrenia. The last module we're going to be doing is on love and mental illness, and that is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. One of the best books I've read this year. And essentially this book is about a girl called Molly who's dealing with being overweight. I don't like that term, but you know, Molly's described as overweight. I mean, I could be Molly. And she has had 27 crushes and no boyfriend, and suddenly someone takes an interest in her, and it's about her dealing with having anxiety, which is actually not touched on a lot, but it is there, and it's healthy. This whole book is healthy, so honestly just read this book. Healthy representation. So that is the end of my class. If you like this class, then you should recommend it to your friends. Cool, okay. I'm signing off now.